From the beginning, it was a challenge. When you are just writing in a diary, you're just writing. You don't have to think about character development and the flow and what message you want to bring because you're the only one that's reading it. And then I started thinking about, well, what message did I want to give kids out there? That was really important to me, not for it just to be entertaining, but to teach kids something that's more life-based. That was extremely important to me. The book teaches kids how important it is for them to respect their parents, and how important it is for their parents to be able to trust them. Also, to reach for your dreams regardless of the stumbling blocks, because they're going to be stumbling blocks, right? One of the things that I faced was writer's block. Some people think that it's easy to write a book. It's not. When I first started, my flow was interrupted many times. I didn't know what direction I wanted to go in. I had to seek direction from God because it was very difficult. This was my first time really writing a book, and I was also thinking about not using the appropriate language for children. I was thinking about the flow of it. I was thinking about also making it a little humorous. I was thinking about culturally, I wanted to implement a little bit of patois into the book, which I did, but not too much so that someone that's not from the Caribbean or from Jamaica would not understand. So it was all those little components that I was thinking about to bring it together. Some more challenges I faced, it was a lot of delays. I had major surgery. In the midst of that, I was in 2 car accidents. I've been married. I've been divorced. When you're married, your priorities are different. So I kind of put my dreams on the back burner to now have a family. We didn't work out, which is fine. I got a divorce, and I decided, okay, it's time for me, no matter what the challenges that I may face, it's time for me to put this book out. So I just made a conscious decision that no matter what happens, now I'm gonna do everything I can. I set up my goals, and I said, okay, in this amount of months, I want to have this book out, and I was determined that no matter what happened, I was gonna make this happen for myself. Thank God that I did. This is one of the biggest challenges with the writer's block. When the work itself was finished, I had a huge problem finding an illustrator. That was one of the biggest challenges that I faced. It took me years. Brian, one of my brothers, I have twin brothers, one is Brandon and one is Brian. Brian is artistically inclined and he can draw. So I told him, I need some characters, and I told him exactly how I wanted them to look. He came up with some concepts. It took us a while, but we got it done. Once I knew I had the characters, what I needed to do was now go into the storyboard portion, because I had the work, right? I needed the characters. Once I had the characters, I needed to do a storyboard to go along with the book. My goal was, okay, I need to get a second job so that I can make some extra money to get this book done, right? And I did Uber and Lyft for a while, and I met this girl. And she went to a private art school in Fort Lauderdale. And as we were talking in the car, I told her about my project, and I asked her, are you interested in drawing for me and I would pay you to do a storyboard? She didn't have time to do it, but she put me in contact with someone else. So I contacted that person, and she decided to take on the project. And for about 2 months, every week we would meet at Barnes and Noble's around Sunset Place, and we did the pictures. It was very challenging because what's in your mind and what you're trying to portray on paper was very difficult. But we finally was able to finish a storyboard, but I needed it to be polished, commercial. That was important, and she took me as far as she could go. She did an excellent job. So now I had to go into finding someone that was a professional illustrator. That, Kevin, took me forever. After years of looking, and I got some ridiculous quotes. This one guy in Atlanta told me $10,000. I'm like, $10,000? Are you out of your mind? You're crazy. There's no way. So I kept praying. I'm like, Lord, I need you to, I need you to find me an illustrator. I need an illustrator. Anyway, I was talking to a friend of mine in New York, and he said to me, let the illustrator come to you. And I said, well, explain that. He was like, go on Facebook and go and look up illustration groups, children's book illustration groups. Join every single group, put something out there that says, I am looking for boom, 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 and let them come to you. Kevin, that's what I did. And guess what? People from all over the world were sending me different messages saying, hey, I'll draw for you. I'll give you a sample. Send me, one of your characters and I'll draw it. If you like it, then we can go from there. So after about, I would say a week and a half and going through several different illustrators, there was one person and she was amazing. Her name is Alexandria. She's actually from Romania. And she drew a sample for me. And when I saw it, I knew she was the one. I knew she was the one. Not only that, but she had creativity. I didn't have to handhold her a lot. And she polished everything to perfection for me. And I knew that was it right there. That was what I needed. That was the finishing touches on the book.